we started to build a backbone, a little bit of an identity. We understood that in order to push our league forward, we were going to have to combat these things.
She has success. It's going to encourage and inspire other women to stand up.
Caitlin didn't bring racism to the WNBA. This has been happening.
Sue Bird is mad, really mad, and it's not about basketball. She says, we still aren't talking about basketball. Instead, we're talking about racism. But why now? What changed to make Bird speak out? Considering racism in sports to be old hat. Give it another thought. A bombshell revelation regarding the WNBA was been dropped by Sue Bird, and it has everyone talking. For what reason are players arguing outside of practice instead of during games? Things are getting crazy and you won't believe what's happening. Sue Bird is finally speaking her mind and expressing what everyone has been thinking but is too timid to say. We still aren't talking about basketball. Do you think it's real? We can't stop nitpicking about these women's lack of focus on the game, despite the fact that they're out there working hard and showing up game after game. Things are about to go insane from here. These women in the NBA feel they have no choice but to combat racism and sexism if they want any kind of recognition at all. They seem to be unable to escape any problems. According to Sue Bird, in order to push our league forward, we were going to have to combat these things. Think about it. You're a world-class athlete who, instead of honing in on your jump shot, is actively working to make a difference. Holy cow! But guess what's even more outlandish? To be honest, it's making some of these athletes feel fantastic. According to Sue Bird, it feels good to stand up for yourself. It feels even better to stand up for others. The question then becomes, how much will it cost them to fight the good fight? For a moment, let's dissect it. These women are becoming less identifiable as athletes due to the amount of time and effort they are devoting to social causes. Reflect about it.
That other people are surprised by this. We've been trying to tell you. And once again, for so long, as a player, I would almost joke. I'd be like, I would have loved to have shut up and dribble.
She has success. It's going to encourage and inspire other women to stand up.
When was the last time you overheard a WNBA fan gushing about a spectacular play? Alternatively, a performance that broke all the records? In the midst of these larger discussions, it's all becoming obscured. Let me clarify something. Pay close attention to these matters. There's a genuine need to tackle the issues of racism and sexism. However, should these sportsmen be held responsible for finding solutions to all problems? Does the sport or the athletes benefit from that? Now things start to become interesting. There are many who argue that racism isn't the main issue here. They claim that the WNBA's problems stem more from ineffective advertising and an absence of high-profile players. Might they have a point? Is the league attempting to hide deeper problems by focusing on racism? Reflect about it. How long has it been since you were enticed to watch a WNBA commercial? Alternatively, a player who has you scrambling to get tickets. Even though the league has been established for a while, it hasn't been able to attract many fans. Is it due to prejudice or simply a lack of connection with potential fans? It's undeniably a sensitive topic. Racism is an issue that no one wants to talk about. But what if the league is more damaged than helped by our fixation on these problems? What if the focus is shifting from the game to the discussion of societal issues? Returning to the subject of basketball, a new player has emerged and is causing a stir. Is Caitlin Clark's unprecedented level of popularity helping or hurting the WNBA? The extent of her influence may shock even her most ardent followers. When it comes to women's basketball, Caitlin Clark is unstoppable. Her game has everyone talking and her followers filling arenas. While Clark is certainly making women's basketball more visible, she is also causing quite a commotion. Let's take a moment to discuss Clark's reputation. She looks like the type of player your grandma would adore. All-American, ponytail, no tattoos. The result is positive. A large number of people are descending upon her performance. However, what's even more absurd? Some are pointing to a problem in the WNBA that her uncluttered appearance exacerbates. Rumor has it that some Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA players, are alienating fans due to their too tatted up or looking like men tattoos. Is that unbelievable to you? Despite how delicate the matter is, we must address it. The league's problems, according to some, stem from the fact that spectators don't identify with the players. How about that? Is it really so?
We started to build a backbone. A little bit of an identity. We understood that in order to push our league forward, we were going to have to combat these things.
I want to bring a couple of things into this as it relates to Caitlin Clark.
I want to make this clear. Caitlin Clark is an absolute monster when it comes to basketball. Her abilities are attracting fresh perspectives to the game. The tough part, though, is here. Although she is exploding in popularity, others are concerned that her achievements may divert attention away from other pressing matters inside the league. Reflect about it. At what point recently did anyone bring up the topic of the WNBA's salary disparity? Also, most games don't get any publicity from the media. It's as if the league's actual issues are being overshadowed by Clark's fame. Maybe that's actually a good thing. A Clark-like superstar might be just what the WNBA needs to reignite interest in women's basketball. I mean, isn't that the point of sports? Marveling at the remarkable feats performed by world-class athletes? Another perspective to think about. What if the WNBA's worst flaw is being revealed by Clark's success? Some feel the league isn't doing enough to promote its players and develop future stars. Their main point is that Clark wouldn't be a big deal if the WNBA had been effective the whole time. So the question becomes, can Caitlin Clark actually fix the WNBA's issues, or is she merely drawing attention to them? Will the league benefit from her fame, or will it make resolving the other issues more difficult? Undoubtedly, it's a complex problem. Clark, on the one hand, is giving women's basketball the exposure it needs. She's demonstrating that given the opportunity, spectators will flock to female-only athletic events. The other side is that the league may be putting off tackling its fundamental problems because of her success. Consider it in this light. Who is going to talk about the other fantastic players in the league if everyone is fixated on Caitlin Clark? Who is advocating for increased visibility and higher wages? The WNBA seems to be constantly hit with bad luck. Now that they have a superstar who is drawing in people, they are concerned that this success may come at the expense of tackling other pressing issues. Put sexism and racism aside for a moment. An internal strife is causing the Women's National Basketball Association to struggle with an identity issue, with some of its athletes facing criticism over their looks. How can the sport truly embrace diversity? The time has come to address the most pressing issue. Can you believe it? Behind the scenes, a different struggle is unfolding in the WNBA, despite the fact that the spotlight has been on sexism and bigotry. These days, it's about more than just gender or color. Every aspect of the league, from player perception to fan engagement, is being impacted by the ongoing struggle with its very identity. The issue is that there are many who believe the WNBA's image crisis is reducing the league's viewership. For example, they have voiced the opinion that too many women tatted up and looking like men is alienating more conventional sports spectators. Is that unbelievable to you? We still evaluate sportsmen based on their appearance rather than their performance in 2023. However, things start to get intriguing at this point. The WNBA isn't the only factor here. For the most part, it concerns our perceptions of female athletes. Reflect about it. Whenever was the last time someone brought up the issue of NBA players sporting an excessive number of tattoos?
Can we just like call a spade a spade? Racism has been impacting the WNBA. Caitlin didn't bring racism to the WNBA. This has been happening.
And even though, Caitlin's doing it very subtly, if at all, maybe it's all unintentional.
Or maybe NFL players just don't seem manly enough. Surely that can't be true. Therefore, what makes women's sports unique? For what reason is the WNBA treated differently than the NBA? Some are speculating that this is due to the league's failure to adequately promote its players as athletes. These problems, they say, would go away if the WNBA put more emphasis on showing off abilities and less on showing off looks. For the sake of argument, let's shift gears and discuss the National Basketball Association and NFL. Those leagues' black male athletes don't appear to have any problem attracting spectators or media attention. So how is the WNBA unique? Is it merely a matter of gender, or is there another factor at play? Here's an outlandish idea. What if the WNBA is overthinking its position and trying to force itself into a category that doesn't exist anymore? Perhaps the focus should shift from the players' off-court behavior and appearance to the thrilling aspects of women's basketball. Give Sue Bird's remarks some more consideration. According to her, the players felt pressured to fight racism and sexism only to draw attention to the league. What if, however, that is having the opposite effect? What if we lose sight of the game itself because everyone is so concerned with social issues? Let me clarify something. Sexism and racism must be a top priority. However, a professional sports league shouldn't make it their first priority. The Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, should prioritize producing unforgettable games, nurturing future stars, and providing spectators with an unparalleled experience. Let's look at it from a different perspective. What if the WNBA's identity crisis is really a chance for growth? Perhaps the league can rebrand itself and demonstrate to the world the true essence of women's basketball with this opportunity. Picture this. Instead of attempting to conform to the ideals of another person's sports league, they should concentrate on being the greatest version of themselves. The million-dollar question, though, is this. Will the WNBA be able to deal with its actual issues? Would they be open to critically examining their player and game marketing strategies? Is it possible for them to reach a diverse audience while still embracing diversity? Without a doubt, it will be challenging. The WNBA, however, must find a solution if it is to continue existing and growing. Without producing content that fans desire to see, they will fail to support their players regardless of their appearance or manner of expression.